Bristol Community College, Mathematics with Dan Avedikian, Math 132, Calculus with Applications, Section 14.2, Problem 1. This is Section 14.2, Problem number 1. It says, some studies have shown that drinking red wine in moderate quantities can improve your cholesterol. After years of research, a doctor at Fall River Cardiology Associates believes that she has a function that relates the number of ounces of red wine consumed in a day with the increase in milligrams of good cholesterol, the HDL, in your bloodstream. And this function is f of x equals negative 3x squared plus 60x plus 40, where x is the number of ounces of red wine consumed in a day. So this is a multi-part question. The first part, part A, says, how much will a person's good cholesterol increase if they drink 5 ounces of red wine per day? So what we're going to do is take the function and put in a 5 for x and do the math. So we'll have f of 5 equals negative 3 times x squared will be negative 3 times 5 squared. 60x will become 60 times 5. And then there's plus 40 on the end. So now do the math. Pay attention to the negative. So negative 3 times 5 squared, we start with that. You have to do the 5 squared first. 5 squared is 25 times negative 3 in front of it. So 25 times negative 3 is negative 75. And now 60 times 5 will be 300. And then the 40 on the end will just stay 40. So I have positive 340 minus 75. So I think that's 265, but we'll just make sure with the calculator. And sure enough, it is 265. So according to the function, if you drink 5 ounces of red wine per day, your good cholesterol will go up by 265 milligrams. So part B of the question says, how much will a person's good cholesterol increase if they drink 12 ounces of red wine per day? So to find that, we'll start with the function that's given. So let me write it down again. The function was f of x equals negative 3x squared plus 60x plus 40. And now what we'll do is put in 12 for x and do the math, and that'll give us our answer. So we will have f of 12 equals negative 3x squared will become negative 3 times 12 squared plus 60x will become 60 times 12, and then we'll have 40 at the end. So the first thing we'll have to do is negative 3 times 12 squared. So you have to do the 12 squared first. 12 times 12 is 144 times the negative 3 in front. So let me just check all that. 12 times 12 is 144 times negative 3 is negative 432. And next to that, we have 60 times 12, which should be 720. But again, as the numbers are getting pretty big, I'll just verify that with my calculator. It is 720 plus 40. So now we'll just combine our results, negative 432 plus 720 plus 40. And again, just to be sure, I'll do that with the calculator. So if I add the 720 and the 40, I'll have positive 760. And then I will subtract away the 432. Which gives me 328. So if you drink 12 ounces of red wine per day, your good cholesterol, or HDL, would go up by 328 milligrams. And now part C says, find the number of ounces of red wine someone must consume per day to result in the maximum possible increase of good cholesterol. So to do that, we're going to take the function that's given, f of x equals negative 3x squared plus 60x plus 40, and we want to maximize that function. So what we're going to do is first take the first derivative. So we're going to have f prime of x equals, the minus 3x squared will be minus 6x to the first. And again, that comes from the exponent of 2 coming down times the number in front, which is negative 3. 2 times negative 3, there's my minus 6. X to 1 less power, the second power drops down to a first power. And now the 60x, which is next, will become just a 60. And again, the reason for that is when you take the derivative of something with an x to the first power, the derivative is just the number in front, or the coefficient is the right word for it, which in this case is 60. The plus 40 on the end has no x, so its derivative is 0. So now we have f prime of x equals negative 6x plus 60. So to maximize this for x, what we want to do is set our first derivative equal to 0. So we'll have negative 6x plus 60 equals 0. And next we want to solve that for x. So in the interest of keeping things positive, let me bring the negative 6x over to the right side of the equal sign. I'll have 60 equals 6x. And to solve for x, you'll divide out the 6. And you'll have the next is 10. So if this function is really true, what that would mean is the best number of ounces of red wine to consume per day in terms of improving your good cholesterol would be 10 ounces of red wine per day. And then the last part, part D, says, what is the maximum possible increase of good cholesterol that can result from drinking red wine? So we're going to take the maximum number of ounces of red wine, the 10, and put it in for x in our function. So we start with the function. F of x equals negative 3x squared plus 60x plus 40. And we put in a value of 10 for x. So f of 10 equals negative 3x squared becomes negative 3 times 10 squared. Plus 60x will become 60 times 10. And then plus 40. So the first piece, negative 3 times 10 squared, again, you have to do the 10 squared first. 10 times 10 is 100. Times the minus 3 in front. 100 times minus 3 is minus 300. And the next piece, 60 times 10, will be 600. And then we have plus 40. So if I combine my positives, 600 plus 40 is 640. I will subtract 300 from that, and it'll give me 340. So the maximum increase of good cholesterol due from drinking red wine would be an increase of 340 milligrams.